Okay. Let me restart this whole thing over. Okay, let me go back in here and we're going to restart this. So I have to figure out how to go back over and we're going to restart my whole live stream again after that interruption. And oh my goodness, I've never had that happen before. So here we go. Let's start it. Restart. Okay, let's restart it. Um, okay, let me share this out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me restart. Okay. Jillian, I'm going to put you up here. Let me see. Okay, create post. Let's see. Um, Restart to uh, um, unexpected encounter on my previous live. Restart due to unexpected encounter on my previous live. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll do one more here. And I'm not letting anybody come up that I don't know from now. And that was it. Let's go restart. I have to share it over here now. Let's see. Okay. Restart due to unexpected encounter on previous live stream. Okay, jump back on. Let's see, jump back on. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can do this now. Now Scott just messaged me. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, so welcome, welcome. Thank you all for coming back. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to delete that whole video now, the whole live stream. Um, okay, I'm going to go. Let me go delete it now. Let me go. I have to go in. So let me go over there. Let me go open up another YouTube. Wait a minute. I'm going to go delete it. Um, Let me go over. I have to go find it, and then I'll go delete it. Oh my gosh, this computer is a little bit slower out here on Grandma's porch. Can you only imagine? People do such awful stuff. Um, Let me go over to my channel. I'm going to delete it immediately. Give me a moment, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Let's just go over here. So we're going to delete this. Delete. Okay. Can anybody go over to my community tab and make sure that it is deleted? Um, okay, because I don't see it out there now. So I'm hoping that it is deleted. Um, okay, I think it's deleted. Okay. I'm going to put my link in for Jillian and have her come up. Um, okay, let me put the link in. You know, why people do stuff like that, I have no earthly idea. And okay, there, Jillian, there. Um, you know, freaking King, you're right. You know, why people do, thank you, ZX. I just deleted it. ZX, can you go to my community tab and see if you can find it anywhere? As far as I know, it's deleted. Exploration, Laura Lyon, welcome, welcome. You know, um, you know what, ZX, absolutely. Absolutely. It won't happen again. I just, unfortunately, I'm trying to be nice to everybody. And it just, you can't do it. You know, as much as I would like to bring people up that I don't know, I can't do it I kind of knew I shouldn't do it, but I did, and I learned a lesson. Yeah, is Gina here, Fordman? Is she here with me right now? Oh, okay, she's on her own live. Thank you, Fordman. Well, you know, people. it's terrible. It's terrible when people do stuff like that. And they come on to wreak havoc. And there's so many sick-minded people in the world. There really are, just people that do stuff that want you. Thank you, ZX. You're sure it's gone, ZX? Because I just went in, it didn't ask me like it's going to be deleted forever. I just deleted it, So um, hopefully it's gone. And you know, when I turned 8K, now I'm 9+K now and going towards 10K. And I said my lessons will come between 8 and 10K. And so when I was on, thank you, Missy, thank you. When I was on, when I got to 8K, as y'all know, because I got to 8K maybe 3 weeks ago, and my channel's grown pretty fast and pretty steady. And when I got to 8K, I got the person that came on here, and it was horrible. They were scary. And they came from another channel, and they were kind of making their rounds. So I dealt with all that. And then now tonight I dealt with, which was very unexpected. And you wonder why people do. Thank you, ZX. Thank you so much. Thank you. You wonder why people do. Thank you, CJ. I'll call you CJ. I have to keep that in mind because sometimes I forget, but thank you. And welcome, Abe. Welcome, Moto Sam Scooter. Welcome. And so, Scott, were you here when that happened? Just on my other live that I had to just delete. Were you here? Oh, okay. So Gina's doing her own live stream right now. Okay. So it's hi Victoria. Welcome. So yeah, you wonder why people do stuff like that. You wonder why. And Jillian was up here. We were talking about blessings. We were talking about how, blessings come to us. I talked about the seasons of blessings. We had a lot of great content in that live stream. And okay, so let me see. Okay, Jillian. Okay. Are you recovered from that? Are you recovered? Thank you all for coming back. Oh my! You have to mute. You have to mute again. The whole video.
Oh, just a second. I've got to turn the other one off.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Let me go delete.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Let me go. Yeah. Let me go over here for a second, too. I got to do something again. Just a second. Let me see where we're at here. One second, Jillian. What a crazy
time. You're doing great, Diana. You were so cool handling that.
Oh my gosh. Scott, did you take care of it? Scott? Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Wait 1 second, Jillian. Wait a minute. One second, Jillian. I can't hear you. Wait a minute. 1 second. Wait a minute. Let me go down here for a second. Jillian, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you now. But let me go here for a second.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I did it. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think I did. Okay. I'm getting really weird stuff here tonight. I don't know why. So, my channel is a great channel. It's a wonderful channel. It's a spiritual channel. It's a channel about living your best life and spiritual principles. We had all that wonderful talk on here, talking about the spiritual principles of tithing and of giving out to the world. And then somebody had to come and ruin that, and it's a shame, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way people do. And I'm going to bring Scott up here too in a minute with us. Let me get the little chat box here. I had it. I don't know if that's which one it is. I have to go back in. Okay, let me go back. Okay, let me go back here, Jillian, again. One more time. And thank you, people, all my friends, for bearing with me through this craziness. You know, you wonder why people just do crazy stuff. And, but it taught me a lesson. So, Jillian, you know not to invite anybody up that you don't know.
Now I've learned.
Now you've learned. Now you've learned. Okay, so now I'm going back over and I got to find my StreamYard now. Okay. Oops, where's my StreamYard? Okay, there we go. And one more. I'm looking for the chat box now. Okay. Well, anyhow. Let me bring Scott up. He can help. He can help us. Okay, here's Scott. We know you. But where'd he go? Oh.
Hey everyone.
Oh my God. Were you here?
There he is.
Were you
Hi.
here for it,
There we go.
Oh, that
Were you
looks good.
here? Oh my
Welcome,
God.
everyone. Thank you.
Were you here for it, Scott?
Yes, I was.
Oh my God.
The image is now burned in your brain.
I've had worse.
I had to delete that whole video. I went and deleted it because you can't leave something like that on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it taught me my lesson. It taught me, do not, you know, unfortunately, I cannot let people up here that I do not know. It's,
No,
you know,
yeah, we've had the conversation before. If you don't even know people, no, if they don't want to come out from underneath the out from behind the bubble or whatever, and not show their faces and stuff like that, we got to make sure we're super careful about that.
Mel, yes, thank you. Mel, thank you for being here. You missed all the excitement, Mel. You missed all the excitement. Well, what do they call that? I think there's a word for that. What happened on my last live stream? GL, what do they call that, Scott?
Well, there's a troll.
Well, no, but they call it something else. They call
Okay.
it, is it called pornge or something? They porned you?
Yeah, that'd be a good terminology
Sort
for
of
that
a
for
porn
sure.
bomb.
Yes, Mel, you missed the excitement. We had a wonderful live stream going on, wonderful, talking spiritual principles. It was probably one of the best live streams. And then somebody wanted to come up, and I was hesitant. And I thought, meh, I'm going to let it happen. And not anymore. I had to go back and delete. We had to start over, had to delete the whole live stream. And yeah, it was a pervert. Is there still somebody in here? ZX, let me see. I'm going to go back up. Scott, are you able to still check everything, Scott? Or
Yeah, I'm still here, so I can bounce back and forth and stuff. And
okay. Well, you know what? As long as I don't see anything, let me see. Yes, Fordman. I'm going to go over there right now, Fordman. Just a second, Fordman. If I can find my, okay, let me find Fordman on here. But yeah, you know what? I'm just going to have to be really, really vigilant. Melnet, can you really take a close look and really watch the chat really, really close for me? I appreciate it. Fordman, there you go, Fordman. Wait a minute. Let me see. There you go. I appreciate it. It was not a pretty sight. It was, now what did I do? Okay. Okay, now I got to make it small. Okay. There we go. Okay, Scott.
I see the three of us perfectly. But I don't see the chat. Is that because I'm in live stream or?
You know what you need to do, Jillian? Go to the top of your screen and you're going to click those three little dots. It should say see chat or chat over there, and you're going to click on it.
yeah, there's private chat and regular comments. Just click on the comments and you'll be able to see the comments.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, Nana, you're right. Yeah. Why somebody does something like that, I have no earthly clue. And there are people out there that are their whole life is lived in a basement somewhere, in their grandmother's basement, and they're there to disrupt good channels and good things that are going on. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So, approaching 10K, and I'm approaching 10K in a very short amount of time. Remember, I've had a huge learning curve because I've only been up 6 months public. And so I've had this huge learning curve. So, I had a huge one tonight. And unfortunately, if I don't know somebody, they're not going to be able to come up on stream. It's just going to be the way it is. I have to know them. And, you have to be very protective of your live streams, I guess. Scott, have you had anything like that happen?
Yeah, I've had it. I've had stuff like that happen periodically throughout the years. Yes, and it happens. So
On a live stream?
yeah, absolutely.
What happened?
So I've done a lot of live streams over the last few years. I've been here on YouTube and stuff like that, and it's gonna happen. That's why being vigilant is important. Have your designated mods. Only have people up and that sometimes that sucks because you want to be able to promote other channels and stuff, right? And then you get to the point where, okay, well, I have to make a decision, right? And we have to make those important decisions for our communities, right? We want to have a safe community, so we have to make the appropriate choices for our community so people feel safe.
Yes. And what was it? 2 weeks ago, I had the crazy person, and then I had, tonight I had this. So, it's just, I guess my learning curve. I've got, coming towards 10K. And I guess I just have to be more proactive in guarding everything, just guarding everything. And,
absolutely.
If you don't know a person, it's not that, there's so many good people out there. There's so many wonderful people. And people like that make it difficult for the people that would like to come up and shout out their channels and talk about their channels.
Absolutely.
But it's just the way it's going to have to be. It's just going to happen. If I don't know you real well, then it's not going to happen, So,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I can offer my therapeutic view of this.
Yeah, I would love it.
I think often something that I've seen working with, this is similar, working with over the years with a few people who were exhibitionists. I think it's a combination of intense anxiety, that person is anxious, but also angry, and kind of wanting to take their anxiety and force other people to look and confront them. And it's I guess if YouTube is such an open forum, which of course is what makes it so wonderful, then those people are going to wander across our horizon just as they might through your therapy office,
Yes. ZX, I'm coming to you. Just a second, ZX. I'm coming to you. Okay, ZX. Okay. Okay. Is that better, ZX? But yes. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Jillian. I'm listening to you. Thank you. You're very, very helpful, because I think when unexpected things happen, we're all kind of shocked.
Yeah.
Well, and so that got the reaction they were looking for. Of course, right. Because they were doing something.
Take a double take. Is that what I'm seeing or not? Right.
Yeah, there's a minute of like yeah.
That's the normal reaction, pretty much.
Hey, Ruby, welcome. Elias, welcome. Ruby, we had a learning experience. Okay. Shout out to Ruby Life in Oregon. She has a wonderful channel. Ruby, I wish you would have been here for this. Thank you, Melnet. Melnet is so awesome and so wonderful. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you live and you learn, you have experiences. I'm sure that this will not be the last one. Um, yes, Miss Southern Belle, I did. I did. I put it out a couple times tonight. And, but that was for the first live. That was for the first live. Welcome, Simone and family. Welcome. If I've missed you, it's because I take my glasses off and then I don't see the chat. But, uh, Robert Mack in Asia, welcome, welcome. So, the bigger our channels get, the more vigilant we have to be, but also the more we're going to experience. And
Yeah.
I've mostly done my 5-minute videos, and only more recently have I done. Um, let's see, because he has been on it, and he likes. Okay, Patrick. Okay, and so you kind of um, there's going to be all kinds of learning experiences on here. People that's been on here for a long time. I've only really been public 6 months. So people that's been on here 10 years, they've had a lot of experience.
Yeah. I've been in probably around kicking around here for about, I'm gonna say about 5 or 6 years. So I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen
You're
a
a
lot of
veteran.
occurrences. I've seen a lot. I've been in all kinds of communities. I've witnessed so many different scenarios that are just totally out there. So I'm pretty learned in the YouTube community awareness to watch to be careful because and just it's all about being vigilant, right? You have to be vigilant and responsible and make sure that you're aware of your surroundings at all times,
Yep.
always.
Yes, yes. And do you think that they target my channel, or do you think that they just randomly pick somebody that they can get a reaction from?
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes they target certain channels. They see larger channels. They get jealous of another. They get jealous of another channel that's freaking going through the roof, and they want to poke the bear. They want to stir the pot. They want to cause drama and stuff. And it's just, are we going to react to it, or are we going to respond to it? If we respond to it correctly, right, and that's what's gonna that's those choices we make, that's what's going to define our channel. That's going to determine if people keep coming back or not. If we're going to continue letting this stuff happen, then we're gonna lose in the long run. If we put our foot down and say, okay, we're making this decision, this isn't, we're gonna do our best to minimize these kinds of situations. That's the people that's what people respect, right? They're gonna respect that.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep coming back because we're putting our foot down, we're taking a stand and saying, hey, no more.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm an old lady channel, I'm a wisdom channel, I'm a grandma channel. And but grandma gets surprised too. So but we
You
were talking, Jill. I want to kind of go back to the subject that
Yeah,
Shelley was
thriving.
talking about, and you can be part of this scenario, Scott.
Hmm.
And I had to delete that first video. I had to, and it's unfortunate because it had such great content on there that I started discussing about the seasons of our blessings,
Hmm.
and Jillian came in and she started talking. We were talking about accelerating the blessings, and she talked about how her beliefs in accelerating blessings, and so then we had to delete that. So basically, in my first deleted live stream, I talked about that blessings have seasons, and you come into a season, you go into the pursuit of the blessing, and then you actually obtain the blessing, and that's really, that's nirvana. You're so happy, you're thrilled, like my first year of marriage. And then you go into developing and building on your blessing. And then you go into expanding your blessing, and your blessing can lead to other blessings, or it can lead to just expanding your blessings. But your blessings do have seasons to them. Like I had my first year of marriage, but then we had the dating season before that, and then our first year of marriage, and then our season of raising children. And then, 30 years into the marriage, now it's a different season. We're getting older, and we're best friends, and so you have different seasons. But it's that way in life. In any blessing you get, whether it's a new job, you're excited in the beginning, you work so hard to get that job, now you have the job, you're so excited, and then in a year in it, then you kind of, some people throw away their blessing. They quit working, they quit doing the work that got them to where they're at, and now they're not investing, and their blessing begins to disappear. So you can either hold on to your blessing or lose your blessing. We often see people who had, became famous all of a sudden. They were, recognized everywhere on it because of a TV show, making a lot of money. And then a couple years later, the TV show got canceled, and now they're not making that kind of money, and they're not famous anymore like they were. And so what did they do with that blessing when they had it? Did they invest it? Did they take care of it? Did they nurture it? Or did they spend it all? Because one blessing is meant to lead into another blessing. And so that's what I talked about. Then Jillian and we talked about, and she talked about how to accelerate your blessing through tithing, and how to accelerate your blessing through giving. If you want love, you give out love to the world. If you want whatever you want, you call it, what did you call it, Jillian? Match to match or something like that?
Well, I can't remember the phrase I used, but essentially I'm just talking about tithing what you want to receive. So if, for example, the tithing that most of us who grew up with any religious training heard about was the biblical tithing, and then putting some money in the envelope at church to support the ministry of the church. But tithing, I think, I tend to tithe to people and organizations who inspire me. And sometimes it's the church. One of my really good friends is a nun, and she works with kids in Ethiopia and Eritrea. And, I love her work. And she just, every time, she writes me a note or we talk on the phone, it builds me up. And so I definitely tithe to her work and support her work. But I've also found that, and this is kind of repeating myself, but if I want time, for example, time is something that a lot of us feel a shortage of. We don't, so many people, and I think this may be something going through this pandemic may actually change the way we perceive how we have our lives structured, because a lot of the old structure is gone. But I've always had clients tell me, and I've certainly experienced it myself, having kids and being a busy mom, that I just don't have time for what I want. And so if I'm asking for more time, then I can tithe time. So for example, if I have a friend who has a project and she's having trouble finishing her project, I can say, okay, I'm going to put my stuff aside and I'm going to go tithe 4 hours to you and just help you with your project.
Report.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm talking the Four Corners report.
Oh, okay. So, and I do that with an open heart. And it's giving to get, but it's not so much the kind of mathematical keeping track of what I give and what I get back. It's more just opening my heart to have my channels open so that I can receive good from a lot of different places. And I can, Diana was talking about this. We were talking about if you want more love in your life, then give more love, act
Absolutely.
lovingly, be loving towards your friends, go and play with animals at the animal shelter, or, if you want more talent, if you want to be able to do something creative, then just let yourself use your creativity and just put it out there, knowing, well, it's the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that what we focus on is returned to us. It just magnetizes things. It comes back to us because that's what we're focusing on. And that's why it's always a mistake to focus on what we don't have. If I sit around being upset because I don't have enough time and I spend 3 or 4 days doing that, then the whole universe is going to fall down on me and I'm going to have a million things to do. Whereas if I just notice, oh, right at this moment, I am doing something I'm really enjoying and I have time and space to do it and I'm grateful for that, that's going to attract more good stuff that feels that way.
Yes, absolutely.
You were shaking your head.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe that, if you want good, you give out good. And, I believe if you give out bad, it's going to come back to you. People who are jealous, people who are, give out bad energy to other people. I've seen it time and time. And I'll tell you a little story. When I was living down in Texas, there was a group of women that I was a leader of a very large group. It was a volunteer group, but I was a leader. And these women, there was some wonderful and amazing women in it, but there were also some women in there that was very, very jealous. And they were jealous of my position. Now, I didn't even want the position because I was really busy with my children. I had small children. I was homeschooling, but I did the position anyhow. And these women were constantly sabotaging. They were bickering and they were creating havoc and all of that. And you know what? Every one of those women, I found out a few years later, went through a major divorce, except for one, and they had severe marital problems. And so I believe that when you're giving out negative energy, it comes back on you.
Yeah, we manifest everything in our lives, right?
Yeah.
How about manifesting? You meditate on something or you act a certain way for a certain amount of time, and it's all going to come back. The universe doesn't care.
Yeah.
You're going to get back whatever you put into the universe. Tenfold.
Yes, absolutely. And so, what you decide that you want in your life, and Jillian was talking, you sow your seeds. You sow your seeds, whether it's seeds of love, seeds of kindness, seeds of generosity, seeds of your time, whatever it happens to be. When I came on here 6 months ago, it was really, just an extension of sharing my wisdom to my children and my family and my friends, to sharing it to everyone who wanted to listen. And we all have our gifts. Jillian has her gift. She has amazing gifts. Scott, you have amazing gifts. Every person has amazing gifts. And a lot of people hoard their gifts. And our gifts are not meant to be hoarded. They're meant to be shared.
And I, to follow through on what you were saying, Scott, I think it's, I am a spiritual person. And I was saying earlier, I do believe in God, maybe not the same way everybody does. I think we all maybe envision God in different ways, but in some ways, just what you said is so true. The universe is impartial. The law of attraction is just like the law of gravity. I am creating my life every minute. I'm either creating what I want or I'm creating what I don't want, according to what I pay attention to. So I believe just as if I pick up my pen and drop it on the floor, it's going to hit the floor. If I spend my time focusing on something, it will show up in my life.
Yes. I agree. Paul, I've got your picture up here, but I'm just trying to figure out how we, let me see how we, oh, there. Okay. Got it. I'm learning this as we go. Keep talking, Jillian. I'm kind of navigating and trying to learn things as I go here, how to manage this. And I'm kind of it's kind of the shout out, since I can't bring people up. Well, I know Mel Net could come up, but I'm kind of just putting their names underneath, so I'm learning.
Scott, are you an artist? I love your backdrop.
Yes. These are my paintings. That's painting. These are my children's books that I've written.
Oh, wow. So
I like
you're a
music.
writer and an
Yeah,
artist.
yes, I'm a writer, artist, musician. I got Luna here,
Oh,
so I like to play.
that's
Yeah,
wonderful.
so
And are you Canadian?
yes, I am.
Yeah, I thought as much. I grew up back and forth between Vancouver, BC, and Texas because my mom was Canadian and my dad was Texan. So I picked up on your accent and made me happy to hear it.
Yeah, I grew up Southern Ontario. I'm up Northern Ontario now, so I just tell.
That's the part of the
I
country
just
I really don't
say,
know. I've never been north in Ontario.
oh no.
No, but the pictures are
I think
beautiful.
I've been to Peggy's Cove. That's east. My mom lives in Elliott Lake, so I myself really haven't traveled a whole lot. I've never been overseas, nothing like that. I aspire to one day. Other than that, I've lived in Canada all my whole life except when my parents moved us to the States because God told them to illegally. Long enough for me to fracture my skull, and then we ended up back in Brantford again. So it's just part of my story.
Sounds like a fascinating story. One day I'd like to hear the whole thing.
Okay, I'll have to
So
do a
how did you get
video.
started writing books? How did you get started doing that?
I've been a writer all my life. That's pretty much the only way I knew how to communicate with people all growing up.
Yes.
So I wrote poetry in public school. I've written editorials for a newsletter back for as a alternatives program. That's through mental health and stuff like that. So I've always like so when I got my first book published, just to give you an understanding of how much attention my parents gave me, they didn't know I was a writer.
Oh my God.
So you flourished in spite of
Yes,
your growing
in
up.
spite of my parents were divorced 4 times before they decided, hey, maybe we should just get divorced. They gave me an ultimatum to go live with either one of them. I told them both to go hoop their foreheads, and I moved out with my girlfriend. So I've pretty much been self-taught my whole life. Just it's all been trial and error. I just seem to err less these days, which is nice. So
And are your books written under your name, under Scott
yeah,
Kovacs?
yeah, Scott Kovac, and then my publisher. So that's me. I don't know if you can freaking see my name. There's me. That's Scott
Oh,
Kovac.
okay.
Wow.
And
And so you
then
illustrated it too.
and then Kate Pellerin, she's the illustrator of my first 2 books.
Oh, that's
I'm
wonderful.
my current publisher is in Brantford. They're cabinofdreams.com. I wrote Patches in '99, and I was in a writers guild with my friend Kate. And then over the years, she's like, "Want to get your book published? Want to get your book published?" And I've never had the means to do it. I'm from the skids, so I ended up with one of my last girlfriends, and she said, "Okay, well, let's do it up." So I was actually able to be a realized author for the first time when I got my first book published, Patches the Penguin. Yeah, I got my second book, Oscar the Owl, published. I was doing book signings and readings for the kids at Indigo and Chapters in Windsor, Ontario. That's where I was before I ended up where I'm at now. So yeah, so I'm in the process now. I'm really conflicted. So so the publisher I have right now, all the books I need to print off to sell, it's all out of pocket. So all the publishing fees, all the printing fees, it's all out of pocket right now. So I'm in the process of finding a publisher up where I'm here now. I'm up near Ottawa. So I'm looking for an actual publisher because an actual publisher, it's their job to sell your books, right? And
Good luck with that.
yeah. So
I'm a writer. I'm a writer too, and publishers used to publish, you used to promote your books, but they don't do any marketing now.
Oh,
Most of mine have been through Wiley, and now I finished a book on depression, help for depression, and I'm really praying about this and meditating on it, trying to decide if I'm going to do a self-publishing thing, which most of my friends, even the ones who had traditional publishers in the past, are doing self-publishing. But I don't know. I'm still trying to find my way through that.
okay.
I love what's happening up here on the little where comments are getting shown over here in front of the picture.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
guys see that?
Well, you know what, Jillian? I'm sitting here trying to figure that maybe somebody can help me. Now, I just discovered it by mistake. By pressing on the person's comment, it comes up on screen.
Yeah,
But
anything
this
you highlight in the
audio-
comment section will come up on the screen.
Okay, let me ask you, Scott, if I want to have no comments now, like let's say I want to take a comment off, how do I do it without going to another
Just-
comment?
Just re-click on the same comment.
Double click?
Yep.
It doesn't check. No, not yet.
No.
No. One click. Oh, there it goes.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Help
just
us,
one
yeah.
click.
Well,
I was noticing someone people have been making such cool comments, and someone had put up here a great way to tithe is to give some time back to God every day in prayer and meditation.
Yes,
like-
absolutely.
People are really thinking about what we're talking about here. It's cool.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It is so neat when you have people make great comments, and that's what we love. That's what we love. So what would let's ask Scott this first. What is one of your favorite spiritual principles?
Don't take anything personally. I used to take everything personally. That's one of the four agreements. One of the four agreements. I use a lot of the different outside sources other than recovery in my life as spiritual principles. I'm not Christian today. I was been baptized Christian Baptist when I was 12. That's not the path I'm on today. I'm happy on the path I'm on today. I believe in Jesus' teachings. I just believe the application is flawed, very flawed.
That's because we're human beings. We're all flawed.
The principles are absolutely correct. I live by the principles that were taught, the old ways, right? So so I'm very eclectic in my own belief system. I incorporate every other kind of belief system into my core belief system, and then it's all about making it your own. What are my core values? What's my core value system? What principles do I live my life by today?
Yes,
I love that. Yeah, I really am resonating with that. I have one of my little pet peeves is when people who are Christians talk about Christianity as though it belongs to just a small group of evangelical believers,
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's so many ways to be Christian and to be also following Christ. I mean, I am a Christian in that I believe that I try to. This sounds really kind of deep and earnest, but it's honest. I try to act Christ-like in every situation. I think about how would Christ act in this situation, and it's a guideline for me. But I've also studied Buddhism and Hinduism and other Christian faiths, as well as the one I grew up in, which was Catholic. And when I go to church, it's usually Episcopal, I think, most of the time. But but I feel that there are many ways for people to express their spiritual path, and it kind of bugs me when someone says, "Oh, there's only one true path," one path to God, because I think a lot of people are on their own paths, and those paths may look very different.
Well, so on the last stream, we were talking about energy, right? Everything is energy,
Your
right?
energy.
So you can't destroy energy. Energy just changes into something else, right? So I believe in that. And so
Where what kind of energy you're giving out, because a lot of problems are created through negative energy. And I always told my kids, I said, when you are, if you get angry, if you get upset about something, usually that follows up with something happening, like you run into something, or you stumble, or you bump into something, or an accident happens. You got to be careful of your energy, because so many problems comes from negative energy. We got to stay around people who are emitting positive energy, because that negative energy can bring us down. It can really pull our positive energy down. So I'm very, very careful who I let in my inner world and how close they get, and I have what I call an inner circle, and then you have varying levels of outer circles. And who comes into your actual real inner circle is my family. My family is that's my circle. That's my real circle. And then my friends come in the next layer of my circle. We all have circles of relationships, and sometimes people move in and out of those circles. But it's important that we surround ourselves with positive energy and people that are, wanting the best for us, and we wanting the best for them. If someone's jealous of you, that's negative energy, and that's going to pull you down. I did probably about 20 videos today. Of course, I didn't put them all up. I think I only put 2 of them up, because I have to have some in the archive for next week when I start college. And but I talked about just, you have jealous people, you have all kinds of people with all kinds of energy in the world, and you want to stay away from those negative energies, and you want to only be around people with positive energy. And if you're working with somebody, it's very challenging, but you've got to keep your distance.
No, absolutely. I remember watching a movie years and years ago. I think it was a comedy, and they were talking about his circle of trust. Right? And you have your core people in your life, and then you have the outer circles, like you were talking about, right? Like my I really don't have my own circle of friends. Seriously.
That's right.
The only people that I was really seeing on a regular basis were everyone in recovery, and I don't even see them anymore.
Right. And sometimes, Scott, it's what, as much as we think it's good to hang around people that are going through the same struggles, sometimes that may not be good, because sometimes, it can sink a ship. And sometimes we have to be around people that really, really have their act together, because if we're strong, then it's different. But if we're not strong and we're wobbling, and we get around somebody else who's wobbling, it's like me being on a diet, trying to be healthy. And I have a friend who loves to go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, and if I'm in a weakened moment, and they want to go out to Golden Corral, I'm probably going to do it. So you want to be really careful about, it doesn't mean that you don't love the person. You love the person, you care about them, but you don't want to pull each other down. You may pull them down. And so it's important to be around people that are stronger than you when you're going through a challenging and difficult time.
Like I love and accept a lot of people in my life. But like I said, the only people I was seeing is those people in recovery, and now where are they? Like,
Well,
I don't want to put them down or anything like that, but it's like I was always the one messaging people. I was always the one going to see other people. I was always the one, going out. I wanted to go out of my way, But I was making an effort to make sure other people knew that they weren't alone, right?
Yes. Yes.
And now I feel alone.
I think some of what happens with recovery is that the recovery principles are so powerful, and being on that journey with other people is so positive and so life affirming. But when you have done the recovery work and you're getting to the other side of it, then you start being ready to attract people who are actually up on a higher level, so that you can continue to grow as a person. So, if you were my client, I would say maybe it might be good for you to write down. I have a group of friends who are spiritually nourishing for me. I have a group of friends where I have a lot of fun, and I feel like we're all supporting each other, because just writing something down is very powerful for attracting it. And just hearing you and being with you to the degree that I am, I'm guessing that you're far along in your recovery, that you've done tons of that kind of 12-step work and the inner work that is involved in that.
I'm coming up on 10 years on the 21st next month.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's amazing. So recovery is always important in your life, but your life isn't just about recovery anymore. Your life is about creativity and thinking other big questions beyond just dependency or recovery. So maybe the time has come for you to open up to the people who are on your level.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I never looked at it that way. Yeah, it's different. It's insightful.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
That's all I knew. The last pretty much 10 years, that's all I did. Full board recovery. This is the only thing I do, right? Other than work, that was the only thing I ever did. That's the only other people I knew. No, I've said this, I've been saying this a lot. Like, other than here with you guys, I'm super introverted. I don't know how to make friends. I don't know. I was never taught. I was never taught how to do that stuff, so it's hard for me to get out there and socialize. It's hard for me to say, hey, let's hang out. I don't know you, but let's be friends.
And also, you don't want to be friends with everybody. When it comes to up close and personal, so you have to be selective. And if you're going through a challenging and difficult time, sometimes you can pull the wrong people into your life. So you got to come from a position of strength, usually when you're making close friendships, because often if you're in a vulnerable position, you can pull in the wrong people. And I think a lot of people have that problem. Now, I've never had that problem. I'm very, my kids and me and my husband, we're all very, we don't have a problem making friends and being connected to people, because we're talkers, and, we just get out there and we're friendly. But I know people that do, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're all different. And usually people that will make friends with you are people that are like me, that kind of pull you in. So we have people that will pull you in, but you gotta remember, you want them to be the right people. They've got to be the right people for your life, because when you're at a vulnerable time in your life, you often make wrong judgments on people. And I often say desperation leads to desperate decisions. Most people that are going through desperate moments, whether it's financially, whether they're in a breakup of a relationship, whether they're lonely people often choose the wrong people. I got married to my husband. I was not lonely. I had such a full life, and he came in, so I could be very discerning whether he was right for my life or not. And but I've seen people go into relationships based on loneliness, and that's not the time to enter a relationship.
See, and for me, I never dated. I was always married. For me, it was like I thought I had to have someone else in my life to make me happy, And today
Yeah.
I know I'm the only one responsible for my own happiness today. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just learning how to be happy with me.
Yes.
Am I happy
And
with
that's
me
the
right
wonderful thing about recovery. That's the wonderful thing about recovery, to really understand codependency and how to be there for yourself. And unlike Diana and her husband, my husband and I are both introverts, which is pretty funny because we have very extroverted children, no idea where they come. My grandchildren, my first husband, a giant introvert. My husband of 25 years and I are both introverts, and our kids are just have a million friends. But I really believe that writing down what you want, how you want it to feel, it's not so much that you have to go out and look. It's just, I think that will open your horizons and things will just start to happen. You know, you might even write something like it's easy for me to meet good people. It's easy for me to have fun with people. Wonderful people are coming into my life. I have as much alone time as I want, and I have as much friends time as I want. And just kind of
how you talk to yourself. You're so right, Jillian. How you talk to yourself. How do you talk to yourself?
and it's something called the mental equivalent. Back in the 1800s, there were a number of guys, theosophists, they call themselves, and one person talked about creating a mental equivalent. And I think that's so powerful. It's like if you were going on a trip, you'd have it all planned out in your head before you go do it. So I think writing down, and over on my YouTube channel, I did a whole thing on 7 secrets to creating your life, 7 secrets to creating bliss. It was kind of like a workshop on what to do. But a lot of it, in my experience, is just quietly going by yourself and writing down what you want, how you want it to feel. And I did that actually before I met Dempsey. You know, I wrote down just everything that I wanted. And then one day he just showed up. And we do that on houses, you know, a house we bought together. We had written down everything, and we went to the house and opened the door, and my husband said, "Oh my God, this is it. Just it."
Yeah.
So it happens a lot, I think, when you create that mental equivalent.
Well, I've done the vision boards before.
Yeah. And that's
I've done
definitely
vision
similar.
boards and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, oh my crap! I've acquired all these things. What's happening? You know, so it's nice, right? So
It's
like I wanted a
magic,
phone, I
isn't it?
wanted a car, I wanted some extra money in my account, I wanted, you know, all these different things, and I was doing the work, right? I was doing the work. I was working on myself. I was relatively in a positive headspace on a regular basis, and you know, so it's what you, if you want something, you got to work for it, right? It's for me, it's I am what I do, you know. So if I want good things in my life, I got to do good things in my life.
I believe in that, but I also believe leave some room for spiritual magic. Leave some room for God to just give you unexpected wonderfulness. You know, keep your headspace open and just notice, because sometimes things come to you out of the blue and you're like, oh, wow, that's even better than what I wanted. You know,
See,
even better than what I thought.
The difference for me today is I used to always be so full of self entitlement. Give me more, and I'll be happy. You can give me more to appease me. It's all about me, right? Today, I know today everything I want in my life. I know how important it is that I need to do the work myself to get those things in my life as well.
Yes.
You know, and I don't think nothing's insignificant. Everything is significant, you know, and when I have that thinking, you know, and not so oblivious of my surroundings, and I'm aware, and I'm always doing my best to be aware, and I'm following direction, you know, that makes all the difference as well. Like when I did meet my last long-term partner, I wasn't looking. right? And something happened, and we met and stuff, and all that stuff happened in my life for a reason.
Mhm.
It made me stronger. It taught me that you made the same mistake, you idiot. So I need to not do those same things, and maybe I'll get a better result.
Right.
So, I had to make a hard decision, and I had to make that decision for me because
Yes.
and it was hard. It was freaking brutal. And it was but I had to do it. It was necessary for my own freaking sanity. And
Yes.
I had to do that. And after I it all kind of kicked in and things kind of calmed down again a little bit. I'm like, okay, even though he went through all that hard stuff, it was still progress,
Yeah.
right? And I have to see life that way today. My best isn't always going to be the same. It's going to be different from day to day, and that's okay. I don't have to be perfect today.
Right.
It's all
I,
about
I think I think for me, my biggest spiritual principle is so simple. It's what we always hear: what you give out, you get back. And I'm very connected faith wise. I have my spirit chime in the morning that is very precious to me. um, uh, I love all my chimes in the day, every hour of the day I love, but there's something special about that 1 hour that I have from the moment that I wake up to the moment that I actually get up and get going. Now I get up, I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, and I get my coffee, and my husband brings me my first cup of coffee, and he leaves it at the bedside even though it's cold. It's my favorite cup of coffee because he brings me my cup of coffee out of ritual before he leaves for work, even knowing that I won't get up for a few hours. And I drink that first cup of coffee, but I have my notebook, my scribble notes that y'all see in all my videos, my scribble notes. And that first hour, because I believe that when we're asleep, our spirit and our subconscious, our spirit talks to our subconscious, and our subconscious, as we are waking, begins to merge with our conscious. So I have all this information coming at me, whether it's a solution to a problem, whether it's things that I do not know, I have no way of knowing, but it comes to me. And I have to tell you, and I'm not going to tell you all the stories, but some of my biggest miracles have happened through a knowing that I get. And I had one knowing that was occurring completely across the world, several. I mean, you've all known the story of how I met my husband. That morning I woke up with a completely overpowering knowing that I was meeting my husband that day. And I went through the whole day looking around. Where's my husband? I had no idea. That night he walked in, his plane broke. And he walked in and we met and we only talked for a moment. He got my number, called me the next morning, said, "You're going to be my wife." And I said, "Yes, I know, but you need to call me back in 3 hours when I'm awake."
I love that story.
but that's how I live my life. My life has been lived on faith. And my miracles have come on faith. And I've had so many super powerful miracles happen in my life. But I was always loving. I was always caring. I was always giving. And so what you give out, you get back. And if it's bad that you give out, you're going to get bad back. If you give out jealousy, you're never going to be happy. So you need to give out love. And I'm always the first to applaud other people. I'm the cheerleader. I cheer people on in the right direction. I'm also the corrector. I'm the corrector. And my children can tell you, and I'll tell you, you can learn two ways in life. And Jillian knows this. Jillian and I are older, and we are more mentors now rather than proteges. But we've also been proteges in our life, and we've learned the hard way. You can learn one or two ways. You can learn from the super highway to success is through a mentor. And so if you've got a competent, great mentor, you can learn and avoid most mistakes. You're going to make some, but you can avoid most. You can avoid the unnecessary mistakes. But if you can learn the easy way through a mentor, or you can learn the hard way through your mistakes. And find great mentors, find people that you trust. I've had great mentors in my life. I am a great mentor. Jillian is a great mentor. Find great mentors and you will grow and you will flourish. And great mentors don't have to be in person. They can be through a book. You can just absorb books, but the right books. And, everything I look at spiritually, my whole life, everything is spiritual. Everything that I do is spiritual. My thoughts are spiritual. I'm very careful the words that I say, the choice of words, And I even believe that what happened in my previous live stream, as bizarre as it was, I think it happened. There was a spiritual lesson, and maybe it's something that I needed to know prior to, my channel just, growing bigger and bigger and bigger. These are things that I need to be alert to.
Yeah, the phallic symbol's a symbol of power. So your power.
Well, I don't know. Now you're talking to a feminist here.
I can rationalize it somehow, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I just believe that start, if you want good stuff in your life, give out good stuff, and take time in the morning hours especially, and spend it spiritually, spend it listening. Just listen, write down. I have a notebook with me or a recorder with me at all times. I never ever don't. In the car I have a recorder. On the running trail I have a recorder. Everything. I've never needed a therapist because A, I've had a front porch, and B, I've had a recorder. But therapists are so valuable and wonderful. The right therapist can lead you in the right direction. The wrong one can break you. And as Jillian knows, a right one can help you mold and shape your life in a most fantastic way. There are, just like anybody else, there's great ones and there's not great ones. And Jillian, you've probably had a lot of experience seeing both.
Yeah, there's a no dearth of bad therapists out there, I have to say, but lots of good ones. And of course, Scott, that from recovery, having a sponsor is a mentor. Having people who are just down the road a little further than you are. What were you going to say?
Sponsors. I've done that. I've had to fire a couple. I've just outgrown a couple. I've been in the situation where people have viewed me in such a manner and put me on a pedestal, and then I crashed and burned. I've done that too. So I've had a lot of experience on both sides of the fence. And there was like a big chunk of my life growing up with the kids was, if they learn anything from me, is don't do what I did. So that's a good example of I'm not a good mentor. So today I try to be the opposite of that. I try to be a good mentor for my kids today, because I know what I had done in the past.
I can tell just meeting you through the screen like this, you have wonderful energy and you have such gifts to give people. So I'm just seeing you surrounded to the degree that you want to be by people who love you and appreciate you and have fun with you, and you have fun.
Yeah. So, and have fun in your have fun in your relationship. People get married and they've had all this fun dating and that, and then they get married and then they get for serious. And then that's when the problems start. We've got to have fun. I mean, I have fun with, I'm a mom first. I'm a mom. I'm not a friend, but I have fun with my kids, and I have fun with my husband, and I have fun with my friends, but I'm also serious. I'm a very serious person when I need to be, but I'm also a fun person, because if we have to lighten up a lot. Life is not all about being serious. And I've been around people that just cannot lighten up, and they're no fun. You want to be light when you can in the right situations. And I'm light pretty often.
And I think that people who have fun, I think fun and playfulness goes a long way towards creating what you want in your life.
Yeah,
I think it's an important part of creating the life you want.
No, absolutely. I'm a big advocate. If I'm in a really bad funk and I'm feeling depressed and down, I'll go find a giant hill and I'll roll down the hill, or I'll find a swing set and I'll go on the swings. It's about doing what brought you joy when you were a kid. Go back to your roots. Do the stuff that's gonna get you immediately out of that funk and that crappy mood you're in. You can do that. You can start your day over again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's different for different people. Getting in the water does that for me. You know, I grew up in Vancouver on the coast, and if I can be near the ocean, or if I can be in a lake or in a river or even in a swimming pool or a hot tub, I can flip my frame of mind just right away, you know, and get out of a funk and just suddenly I think it's nature, but it's also just different people have different aspects of what brings them pleasure. But for me,
Yeah,
it's nature and all of nature, but especially water.
yeah, nature's awesome. I love a good storm.
I
I
love a
love a good
storm.
thunder, lightning storm. Bring it on. I love that. So nature's all encompassing when it comes to, and when it comes to nature, it's everything. It's not just the plants and the animals, it's weather and natural disasters and all kinds of stuff that happens as well, right?
Yes. Renee and Patrick, thank you so much. You know, being a mod is not an easy job. And, you know, I understand sometimes people type fast and they'll put the wrong thing in and, you know, mistakes happen, but I'm sure that person will forgive us. And whoever it was, I'm not sure because I probably had my glasses off. But yeah, you know, so we learn as we go. And you know what, tonight I have really learned a lot. So I learn. And thank you, Chop Clock. Thank you. And Pinoy Kebayan, welcome. You know, we learn as we go. And, you know, I didn't have a mentor coming on here. You know, I came on 6 months ago and I didn't have a mentor. I just said, well, everybody kept saying, go on public. And I had a channel for 10 years, but it was only for family and friends. And then I had like 200 friends on here, you know, family and friends. And then 6 months ago, I came on. And then all of a sudden, my channel grew and it's almost at 10K in 6 months. And so I've learned so much so quickly. And it's been a huge learning curve. And I've made mistakes like tonight, letting someone up on panel that I should not have. I mean, I've heard that before. I was hesitant, but I didn't listen to myself. And because I wanted to be nice, and I'm not going to be nice anymore. You know, I'm not letting people I don't know, you know, I'm sorry, I can't be nice. I can't let, you know, if I don't know you, I can't let you up, you know, and it's, you know, so I made my mistakes. So we all make mistakes. We, you know, and that's just part of what we do, you know, and like the more you're out here, you know, the most criticized people are the ones that are out there making life happen. The people that don't get criticized are the people that do nothing, you
Yep.
know? And so if you're out there making life happen, you're probably going to get criticized and or make mistakes. But the thing is, I didn't have a mentor to show me, hey, you do this, you do that. I just kind of had to learn as I went. And so I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm still learning all this. Jillian probably thinks I'm so smart because one day you said, "Oh, I'm so smart at this." I don't know what I'm doing half the time when I come up
But you're
here.
mentoring me, so I'm following along in your wake here.
Well,
Mhm.
now, Jillian, you learned your huge lesson tonight. Don't let somebody up on your stream that you don't know.
Trust,
I'll remember
trust your gut,
Listen,
right? You said you hesitated. You need to trust your gut. Do you
I
have a
gotta
gut
trust my
feeling?
gut. Yeah,
I've learned that lesson decades ago. Trust your gut. You
yeah.
know, I have to, you know, uh, when I'm just trying to be like I was the people pleaser, right? And what happened? I would always get hurt or end up in a situation where I didn't know what to do with I didn't know what to do with it,
Yeah,
right?
you know,
So
I'm not a people pleaser, but I am a very nice person, and you know, I want to help people. You know, Jillian knows that I'm the helper. I've always been the helper, but I'm also have to be very disciplined with that.
yeah,
And
you can't be the doormat either.
no, and so tonight, you know, my new rule is if you know if I don't know you, you're not coming up. You know, I don't care if you're the best person in the world. I'm not saying you're not the best person in the world. It's just that I can't take that chance anymore. You know,
Hmm.
and so, but we're always learning. You know, whether you're a moderator, you know, mods. I have some great mods on here. Melnet. I mean, just so many of you are here, and I have wonderful mods, and I've been a mod on it. I'm not the best mod in the world. I go around the kind of mod I am. I'm the one that says hi to everybody. I say hi to every single person that enters the room, but I'm not like the kind that blocks people. I would block them if I had to, but I'm not good at that. but have great mods. Have great mods. That's the most important thing. And don't really come on alone, meaning that don't come on without mods. You need a mod.
You need a mod or a co-host or something to back you
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
immediately. Like that's why. Soon as that happened, I don't know if you got the messages. I messaged you. I'm like, that
I didn't
happened.
look at him yet, Scott.
Yeah. I'm like, I was gonna come up with you. Like, yeah. So
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And Jillian handled it so well. I don't think you ever knew what it was at first, Jillian. You know, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is this?
Well, I've been around a while. I recognized it.
And then I was like, oh my gosh.
But
and then I couldn't get it off of
I
there.
definitely didn't belong here.
Did you
It
notice
was
I
funny.
couldn't get it off of there? I couldn't get it off. I couldn't get it off of the screen. It etched in my mind too. I got to do a lot of mind. I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But
the mind cleanse.
mind cleanse.
Like,
Yeah.
Maintain your cool.
Yeah. Does anybody know what happens when you hit 10K? Because I heard there's a lot of things that happen and I'm coming close. So what happens? I heard that they want you to sell products underneath your channel. I'm still working on the monetization because they told me I had to do longer videos.
Well, that'll also depend on what are your watch hours right now.
Well, my watch hours are good, but I have to check them again, but they're good. I know they're going to change over, but that's not the thing with the watch hours. The watch hours are I have to have longer videos. So my videos are too short for monetization. You look at my videos and some of them are like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you can't do that. You have to have. They want 20-minute videos.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know about the 20-minute video.
But I don't think you have to be 20 minutes, but they want longer videos because they can't put the commercials on.
Oh, right. Okay. Because you have the option of what kind of ads you want. If you want the overlaying the ads, the little strip, or the skippable ads, or you got to watch this ad. God damn it, ads. So there's a lot of different. So.
And my son places advertising on YouTube. That's his business. He has a business doing that, and he has client companies. So he was saying that you can get an ad on every 10 minutes. So if you have a 20-minute video, you're often given the option of having 2 ads, which is more income.
Yes.
And sometimes I'll be watching a video and it'll suddenly stop for an ad and then it'll start again after the ad.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know much about it.
But there's some different things. Like I guess at 10K, once you're monetized, they will put things underneath your channel, or I don't know. I'm hearing so many different things, and I don't know what's accurate. Kind of I'm a little uncertain as I'm climbing close to that number. I'm kind of like, what happens to me then? Because I do know I get purged. They purge me a lot. Every 1K that I make, they purge me. I lose. Like when I made 8K, they must have purged me 3 times and I lost people. I don't know how they decide what channels to take away or what, but they purged me 3 times. So I know they purge big time when you hit 10K.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they purge because I think they want to get rid of any accounts in there that are dead accounts or whatever, because they're monetizing you, so they want to make sure that you've got enough there.
Yeah, I think that's why. So say I'll lose 10 channels, and then 2 days later I'll have those channels back because they're still pushing out your content, right? They're not making any revenue if the people that are making videos their videos aren't being watched, right? So they have to make sure they're replacing those channels some way, shape, or form to make sure that you're still getting enough traffic to your channel, so they're still making their revenue.
Yes. Well, you know what? Go ahead, Jillian.
Oh, I was just going to say, now that I'm settled, because we've been moving around a lot, now that I'm settled and I know we're going to be here for the next year, I'm going to really start focusing on doing videos every day or two. And so it's going to be a learning experience for me for sure. And I'm watching you to see what you're doing, Diana. So
Well, now we're learning. You're learning through me, through
Yeah.
my mistakes. Yeah, that's really a great way to learn. You learn through watching what works for other people
Your
and the
experience.
mistakes they make. Now, had I had a mentor in all this, and I have no mentors on YouTube to show me what to do, and had I had a mentor, now I have several friends that have a lot of friends on here. I have one who has 3 million, and yet, I'm not going to ask them to mentor me. I could, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just kind of winging it and learning it on my own. But the smartest way is to have a mentor. And I think at this level, I need to surround myself with some mentors that are doing this at a higher level. And that's kind of the direction I'm taking, so that I'm learning without making the unnecessary mistakes. So I'm hoping to find a mentor or mentors who will mentor me on this ladder, and so that I can avoid a lot of like what happened tonight.
I think that's a good plan. And I know you know people that have been around for a while and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
ask for help, ask for direction, and I believe you're doing that. You're doing that. You're going through these experiences here now, or in this last week or so, and you're learning, but you're doing it. You're not getting discouraged. You're persevering.
Oh, absolutely.
And that shows strength and courage, and that inspires people in itself.
Yep. Absolutely. From grandma's porch. So what are y'all going to do tomorrow? Huh?
I agree. I was going to say, you are a really good person to do this, because you're bubbly and you're outgoing, but you have a definite point of view. You're not wishy-washy. You know what you want to say, but also you're brave. I mean, you're brave in your life, like going back to school, homeschooling your kids, taking, the actions you take as a person are brave. And so it's a great combination.
Thank you. That means a lot to me, Jillian. That means a lot. That will stick with me, what you just said. Thank you. Sometimes we need to hear it from someone else and what they see, and I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, what are you two going to do this with? What's your week like? What's the rest of your week like?
Well, I got one more day off of work, and then I go back for a day or so, and then I'm probably off again for a little bit. I've only been working like 3 days a week, so I'm trying to make use of the time I have off of work. So I'm just trying to stay productive.
Yeah. And what about you, Jillian? What is your week going to be like?
I'm going to do a little bit more nesting. I have to paint my bookcases. I have these bookcases that we've schlepped for 25 years from house to house. And I am going to work some more on my YouTube channel as well, and doing some live.
How is your channel coming, Jillian?
I've hardly done anything during this move. I think I have 46 followers right now. So I'm just lagging a little bit behind you. So
well, we'll get you up. We're going to get your numbers up there. Let me tell you my way of having. I did a couple things. I went on a lot of panels, like what you're doing, like what you and Scott are doing. You don't grow on your own channel, and this is the biggest fallacy. You come on your own channel to connect with your friends. That's why you're here. But you do not grow on your own channel. You grow on other people's channels. So what I did in the beginning, I went on everybody's panel. Anybody, I would ask them if I could come up, and they would let me come up, and I would go up, and I would, maybe be on a minute. Sometimes I'd be on a lot longer, but that was how I began to grow. And I just went up everywhere I could go. So that's the first recommendation. Number 2, like Scott said in one of his videos, tag videos. I have a lot of content out there. My only issue with me is my content has to be longer, and not 5 minutes, but 20 minutes. So I'm going to put all those wisdom videos that I do, instead of making 10 separate ones, I'm going to put them all together into one. They may be separate videos, but they'll be merged into one. But make your content, make your video, be out there every day, but tag, and your titles. Your title is key, because that's the first thing that's going to get recognized. And then the next thing is speak your title out. If you listen to my videos, the very first thing I say is what the title is.
Mhm.
Then I say my name.
I have noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, if toxic people, I'll say toxic relationships. And
Yeah.
that way it recognizes it, and it goes out with anytime someone keys in toxic relationships. So, whatever, or blessings, your blessings, or, accelerate your blessings, that goes out as your keyword. And so you say your title first, then you say your name. And that's how I do it. And I think that has, but I've gone to a lot of channels, and I think that is going to be your way, is to make sure you tag your videos. And I'm starting to write a lot more under the description, because that's picked up too. Your
Yes,
description.
absolutely. Yes.
Yep. And do
Because
that. And
YouTube is
make a lot of friends. Make a lot of friends. Get out there, be friendly. And the most important thing is have great content, be authentic, have great content, and let people know you care about them, and they'll come back. Even if you make mistakes, they'll come back. They'll come back. And make friends, and get in some groups. Get it, I've gotten into the RV group, and like Mel Nettie is in there, Gina is in there, so many are in there, and the Miss Southern Belle, and so many others are in the RV groups. They're a very tight knit family. Very tight knit. You want to get connected into groups. When I say a group, where people are very close and supportive of each other, that will shout you out, that will have your back. When I had that stalker, what was it, 2 weeks ago? What I call stalker, whatever that person was. Gina's whole channel came over. They were like parachuters. Mel Nettie came over. Everyone meant to be RVing. They all just kind of parachuted in to save the day. And, and Scott was here. So you build your family. Norgis's channel is another one. It's a family. Yeah. It's a family. Norgis has a Norgis R, fantastic channel. And
this morning.
I'm sorry. What is it called?
There's Norgis R, Norgus. You've met her. You were on a panel with her. Norgis R, Norgus R. And She has an amazing channel. She comes on at 9:00 in the morning. And she lives, I think, down in Alabama. And it's a Christian woman's show, but you would love it. It's very supportive. It embraces everyone. And
she's freaking awesome.
It's a family, and you want to get in with families, because then they help promote you. And that's what I did. That's how I grew so fast, is I just made friends. You're here to make friends. It's not subscribers, they're friends, except for that one tonight. That wasn't even a subscriber.
That wasn't very friendly.
No, that
or maybe it was too
friendly.
friendly.
Nope. I may have to have therapy after that, Jillian. I may have to talk to you.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep a slot open.
Thank you.
Okay, this has been so fun. Thank you so much. And Scott, I'm so glad I got to know you better. It's really nice to see you. I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes,
I'll come visit you more.
Yes.
Yeah. And my channel is Jillian Coleman Wheeler. So come visit me whenever you want to. And I'm going to start more productive.
You are amazing. And thank you. I'm so glad you were here with me. You were the calming force in it all. And then Scott came up to rescue us, So thank you so much, Jillian. I thank you. And Scott, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. And come up anytime. Thank you. Come up anytime. So as we do
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. And how do we do it? We say, let me say thank you to my mods, my amazing mods. Thank you. And thank you to everyone that came on tonight. I appreciate you. And we just rock on. Rock on. So love you all much from my house
Yes,
to your
to
house.
your house.
May God
I
bless
bless
you.
you.
And I hope to talk
Talk
to
to
y'all.
you very soon.
Good
night,
night.
guys.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Stay safe, everyone.